Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. You know, if you've been pouring your heart and soul into building a website, a blog, or really any kind of online content, you've already done the heavy lifting. You've built the foundation. But today we're going to look at all your hard work through a completely different lens. We're setting the stage to transform that digital creation of yours into a seriously rewarding digital real estate venture. We are completely demystifying Google AdSense, and we're going to break it down into a simple, logical story that anyone can understand even if you are an absolute beginner.
Okay, let's dive into this. What if your content actually paid you? Let's just reframe how we think about a website for a second. Stop thinking of it as just a collection of pages and start thinking of it as prime real estate. Imagine you own a gorgeous building right in the middle of a bustling downtown area. You've got these perfectly good blank walls on the side of your building just sitting there, waiting to be rented out as billboards. Well, your website has those exact same blank spaces. In the margins, between your paragraphs, at the top of the page, you have an audience walking by every single day, and that means you have incredibly valuable digital space just waiting to be rented out to the right tenant.
Chapter 1. Your digital real estate.
So, to rent out those digital billboards, you're going to need an agent, and that is exactly what Google AdSense is. AdSense basically acts as your automated 24/7 real estate agent. Instead of you having to go out and manually hustle to find advertisers, negotiate contracts, and figure out who on earth wants to promote their products, AdSense just does it for you. It automatically matches ads to your site based specifically on your content and your visitors. Think about it. If you write a blog about gardening, AdSense isn't going to plaster your site with ads for, heavy machinery. No way. It's going to find advertisers selling seeds, watering cans, and potting soil. It targets the exact people walking past your specific digital property.
Now you might be wondering, aren't there other ad networks out there? Well, yeah, for sure. But the real defining advantage of AdSense is its direct connection to Google Ads. When you use AdSense, you aren't just tapping into some small pool of local buyers, you are getting instant automatic access to a massive global source of advertiser demand. Because literally millions of businesses use Google Ads to market their products, there is fierce competition to get a spot on your website. And as you'll see in just a second, when advertisers compete for your space, it creates a bidding war that works directly in your favor.
Chapter 2. The 3 Simple Steps. Let's walk through how this actually works. Step 1. You make your ad spaces available by copying a tiny snippet of code and pasting it onto your site. Literally, that's it. You've essentially just planted the For Rent sign in your digital front yard. Step 2. The highest paying ads appear via an auction. We're going to unpack that little piece of magic in the next chapter. And step 3, definitely the best part, Google handles all the heavy lifting of billing those advertisers, collecting the money, and making sure you actually get paid. You just paste the code, provide the space, and let the system do the whole shebang.
Chapter 3. The invisible ad auction.
This brings us to a really fascinating concept, the real-time auction. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how fast this all happens. Imagine an incredibly fast-talking auctioneer standing right there in the margins of your website. The exact second a visitor clicks a link to load your page, a lightning-fast auction kicks off. In a matter of milliseconds, before the page even finishes loading on their screen, the system looks at the available ad space, looks at the visitor, and asks this massive pool of advertisers, all right, who wants this spot? The advertisers' automated systems throw out their bids, and the absolute highest bidder wins. That winning ad is the only one that gets displayed to your visitor, driving up your payout automatically without you lifting a single finger.
Because these advertisers are all paying different prices based on what they're selling and how badly they want to reach your specific audience, your earnings are naturally going to fluctuate a bit. You're actually paid for a variety of interactions, like clicks and impressions. Sometimes an advertiser pays just because a visitor saw the ad. That's an impression. Other times they pay a premium when a visitor actually clicks on it. The beauty of it all is that the real-time auction ensures you are always getting the best possible rate for whatever interaction happens on your digital property. Chapter 4. Customizing your experience.
Let's take a second to address a couple of common anxieties beginners usually have when renting out their digital space, namely cost and control. So, what does it cost to use Google AdSense? Exactly $0. Participation is completely free of charge. There are no sneaky setup fees, no monthly subscriptions to be a part of the network, nothing. You provide the valuable real estate, and in exchange, they provide the marketplace for free, paying you out of the revenue generated from the advertisers.
The other big anxiety, losing control over how your website actually looks. What if an ad shows up that completely clashes with your brand, or worse, promotes a competitor? Rest assured, you remain the absolute boss of your property. Inside your account is a brand safety page. This powerful little tool lets you review individual ads and basically block anything you don't like. If a specific ad just doesn't fit your site's look, feel, or values, you have the full power to evict that tenant and let the auction find a new one that suits your space perfectly.
Chapter 5. Playing by the Rules.
Look, every good neighborhood has zoning laws, right? And you have to play fair here too. Advertisers are spending real money to reach real people, so Google is incredibly strict about protecting them. You absolutely must adhere to the program policies. So the crucial point is, your site will be actively monitored for compliance. If you try to game the system, serve ads on prohibited content, or break the rules, the consequences are swift. Non-compliance leads to disabled accounts or withheld payments. Honestly, following the rules is essentially the only catch to this entire program.
And that brings us to the ultimate cardinal rule of your digital real estate. Literally quoting the policy here. Clicking your own ads for any reason is not permitted by the AdSense program policies. Never, ever artificially inflate your own clicks. Do not click your own ads just to test them. Don't ask your friends or your mom to click your ads to help you out. Google's systems are incredibly sophisticated at detecting invalid traffic. Just respect the system, let the genuine visitors interact with the ads organically, and your digital property will thrive safely.
And that brilliant little process brings us to the end of our journey today. So, I just have to ask, are you ready to let the highest bidder rent your digital space? You've already put in the hard work to build the audience. Now it's time to turn those blank margins into real revenue. Keep creating amazing content, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.